Alright, what's going on everyone? In this video, it's basically going to be a full guide of how to write cold email scripts for your cold email campaigns. So this is going to work for you no matter what niche you're in, no matter what offer you really sell, as long as it's viable to sell through email marketing. This is basically going to walk through how to present your offer, how to actually structure the email from A to Z, like what scripts to use, so you don't have to overthink this anymore. And this is proven scripts that we've used across many niches. We've booked 600 calls internally. We've booked calls in software niches, agency niches, coaching, consulting, saturated e-commerce, manufacturing niches, home service niches. So this is actually going to work in any niche that you're in. And this is why I'm covering the first principles of actually just writing your scripts. So I guess the offer is 90% of the results when it comes to outbound. That's what I've written here. If the right people do not understand the value you provide, they will not respond, no matter how good the actual script is. So like the offer work needs to be done first. And I've actually got a video I might link in the description as well for you to watch it, how to actually present or make an offer for outbound marketing. But this is specifically going to be how to actually compile that into a script and the rest of the script. You know, the CTA, what should the CTA be? What should the personalization be? It's basically going to cover everything. So step one is define the outcome your prospect actually wants at their awareness level. So this is basically presenting in a way that is actually going to generate interest and replies, and not just giving out generic outcomes like we can help your business, right? Step two, make the outcome specific and believable. Step three, decide on a guaranteed mechanism, which can be optional, which I'm going to walk through whether that's viable to use for your niche or your offer. Write the email and obviously the follow-up as well, because we usually do 2-step sequences for cold email, so you also want to know how to write a follow-up. Step 5, order against the checklist. So I'll walk you through common mistakes and things that people do that I've noticed and that probably we've tested before that we eventually found out never doesn't work. So yeah, it's just going to be a full guide. Your service is how you deliver the outcome. This is a very important point. Your service is how you deliver the outcome. Your value is the outcome the client gets plus the reasons they actually think it will work. So your offer is how you frame that and basically the terms around it. But the problem with most cold emails, they fail because they talk about the service or they talk about a generic outcome without linking the two together. So the email's only job is to generate interest from the right person and get a reply. Closing happens on the call, and obviously setting is a separate thing. This is just how do we get a positive reply? That's the first step of the system. So number one, define the outcome. So awareness levels. In general marketing and a lot of like marketing books and copywriting books, there's something called awareness levels. So we have unaware prospects, problem aware, solution aware, fully aware. People act for their own reasons. So if the prospect does not understand how your offer like benefits them in their current awareness level, they don't care how good the email is, how like good your personalization is. None of that's going to matter. So unaware prospects are, we need more revenue. A lot of small business owners, a lot of young dudes trying to build businesses, like they're a bit like that. If, for example, in our niche, if we want to target a more unaware audience, then we frame our cold emails to that. Problem aware, like we need more qualified meetings. So some people are getting meetings, but they've got the problem of them not being qualified. They're not financially qualified. For e-commerce, no one's just thinking, an 8-figure brand owner isn't just thinking, we need more revenue, we need more marketing from email, we need more marketing from email and SMS, we need better build outs. They're thinking, our bound and checkout rate is so low. Our product post-purchase rate is so low. All the metrics, because I'm obviously not as advanced when it comes to the specific niches, but you're in the niche that you serve. So think about what prospects are really thinking about and what their problems are. Solution aware, we need cold email, paid ads, email flows. So someone says they need qualified meetings. Well, then the next step is how do I get qualified meetings? And so that's the solution aware. That's where that starts to come. Fully aware is we need your specific service. So this is none of your market's going to be fully aware of you. So if you're Alex Hormozy, you have some fully aware audience. But for your niche and offer, I'm assuming you guys don't have a big personal brand, so it's really just you have to hit it problem aware and solution aware most of the time. So speak at the highest level of awareness that the majority of your prospects understand. So talking above their level, if an agency owner only knows they need more qualified meetings and you pitch multi-channel outbound infrastructure, they do not connect the dots, no interest. Talking below their level, if a 7-figure e-com founder thinks in abandoned checkout rate and post-purchase flows and you say, we'll just grow your revenue, you sound generic and clueless and probably like the 50 other pitches they received that day. Larger, more sophisticated business owners sit higher on the spectrum. So the higher, more sophisticated the business owner, and that's basically going to determine what your niche is, the higher they sit on the spectrum. If unsure, guess lower. Over-explaining is safer than assuming knowledge. So do the research, read how prospects describe their own problems on LinkedIn, forums, Reddit, sales calls. You have all the market research you could possibly need with all the stuff online, on YouTube, it's cliched, market research is everything because it helps you craft the email and the awareness levels and all this stuff. And that's going to come from sales calls, content, Reddit forums, anything that you can find on these people that have the problem that you solve. Now, for some niches, you want to speak in their metrics, certain specific metrics, not just generic outcomes. So sophisticated business owners don't think they need more revenue. For example, in e-commerce, they're thinking, what's their LTV, their AOV, abound and checkout rate, how much ad spend actually converts into back-end revenue. A business owner with a real budget has about 20 more clients so you don't pay pictures sitting in their inbox. They stopped reading them a long time ago. Like this, probably 2-3 years, the whole, we'll get you X or you don't pay, it just doesn't work anymore. What they do read, though, is an offer written in the numbers that they check every day. And we found this to work in e-commerce, who people say is the most saturated niche. We've made it work for outbound for multiple of our clients. Booked them Shark Tank brands, 8-figure brands, multiple 7-figure brands. The stuff is easy, guys, when you get it right. List the 3-4 metrics your prospect check daily. Write your offer as a movement in one of those metrics. Cut every word about what you do or how. You really don't need to explain what you do or how. You need to keep that very vague. But then people mistake that for, oh, that just means it's a vague offer and no one's going to believe it. Not really. Because you can let your prospect implicitly try and understand what the service is. And that actually is the thing that gets the interest in the reply in the first place. But we're trying to pique their interest. We're not trying to explain the service. Step 2, to make it specific and believable. This is a really cool thing. There's something called enhancers when it comes to cold email copy or script writing or copywriting in general. So quantity, how much of the thing they're getting. Quality, how good those things, each of those units are, and then time frame, how quickly can we get it done. So specificity builds trust. The more specific the offer language, the smaller the group of people it could apply to, and the more the prospect believes you actually understand their business. Quantity, vague would be more qualified meetings. Specific is 3 to 4 qualified meetings. For e-commerce, it could be more email revenue, and then specific could be increase your LTV by X to Y%. Quality, 3 to 4 qualified meetings a week, or how about 3 to 4 financially qualified meetings with your exact ICP, and you can pull this easily with custom variables, with Clay, AI, Claude Code, whatever you want to use. Time frame, let's just say we said qualified meetings, but what about qualified meetings every single week, or qualified meetings within 60 days or 30 days? Use ranges, never single numbers. Ranges read like client data, single numbers read made up. So you can always, this is not always true, but ranges often work well, like 3 to 4 or 35 to 40%. Makes it more believable. Keep timeframes honest. 30 days smells like BS for most B2B offers. 90 to 120 days is credible. Unless you've got like a reactivation offer, some other few offers that we worked on for certain clients, you want to do something from 60 to 90 to 120 days, ideally 90 days, if you're going to include a time frame. But you don't have to include a time frame. Do not force an enhancer that does not fit how the niche talks. 2 natural enhancers beat 3 forced ones. And might seem like, it's just cold email copy and people, it seems like a lot of people just have cold email copy. They use Claude Code and AI, but AI is still, even with all of the stuff with Claude Code and all the stuff you see on your LinkedIn feeds when it comes to, Claude replaced my whole LinkedIn outbound system. Like it's not that good at doing this kind of stuff because this is still first principles in marketing. So specifically outbound, it's still better for you just to write the email and understand how. Okay, and for some examples, so in ecom, instead of we'll grow your revenue with email marketing, you can say recover more of the sales you're already paying ads for, abandoned checkout, sign up rate, post-purchase flows. One gets deleted, one gets a reply, genuinely. Agencies, so like that's our niche. We'll get you more clients or you don't pay. They've seen 50 of those probably in the last 2 weeks, or extra 3 to 4 financially qualified meetings every week with their exact ICP that they're looking for, without crazy promises or spray and pray outreach. Now that's an interesting thing. I think that's later in the document. The withouts and excluding their previous pain points makes the offer even more believable. Software, so we'll book you more demos. Write 3 to 4 high-ticket product demos a week with your exact ICP, financially qualified and already evaluating solutions like yours. People want to be sold to. They just need to be able to believe it. If everyone believed the outcome that you're presenting in cold email, they would book a call with you. The problem is the belief isn't there. The only way to have that belief is specificity and awareness level matching. But buying pocket. So the buying pocket is the range of a promised outcome where the belief is highest. Too small and the prospects think they can do it themselves. Too large and they do not believe you. This is where so many people do this. Over-promising means promising more than prospect believes, not more than you can deliver. Even a true claim fails if it is not believable. So like, for example, a lot of people do, we can get you, we can add 50 to 100K a month in 90 days. Like, that is reaching on the point of not being believable. But if you tell someone we can get you an extra 3 to 4 qualified meetings a week, that converts better than saying 30 qualified plus meetings a month, because they can see that, they can feel that more, and it's more believable. But if you say like 1 qualified meeting a week, they're like, oh, well, my referrals get me 1 qualified meeting a week. So then you have to have the right balance. Then guarantee and mechanism decisions. So you guys have probably heard, like with cold emails, like there is plenty of people that talk about, oh, well, do I need a guarantee? Do I need a mechanism? Should I have a mechanism or not? Now, there's multiple offer types. For guarantees, you control the outcome variables. So outbound systems, ads, plus follow-up, retention, installs, guarantee it. If you are directly responsible for the result, basically, and will not put skin in the game, like it signals that, well, why should they trust you? But this is only if you're directly in control of that outcome. Now, if there are so many external variables, like if you're more of a consultant type where it's done with you, then you might want to stick away from a guarantee, but you don't have to promise it. And this works fine. You don't need to have a guarantee. But basically the guarantee is result in time frame or repercussion. Before offering it, check 2 things. Can you deliver this 99% of the time? And is the result inside the buying pocket? Full refund is the strongest repercussion. The prospect wants to know the worst case is no worse than where they are now. Never offer more free service. This is like something that maybe we offered before, but you don't want to keep offering a free service. Why would they want more of something that didn't work? So like, don't do free service, just do refund and then like churn. In the email, deliver the guarantee casually. In a PS, never as the headline. Confident side, not desperate promise. So like, you don't want to lead on a guarantee. A guarantee is nice to have. It's not a must-have. So you don't want to rely on it. Mechanisms, naming your method, like your acquisition system, your outbound OS, your retention engine, your SEO, AEO, marketing system, whatever. It can build trust, but only if the prospect clearly understands how this mechanism gets them the result, and is it something they've not heard before. So if you're just using a generic outbound system or a mechanism you guys probably have heard a million times, you know your prospects heard a million times, you don't want to lead with that. You don't want to use that. So if both of these questions fail, you want to leave the mechanism out. A prospect who sees you understand their problem and result without knowing your method trusts you more than the one who recognizes your method and has baggage about it. When unsure, you can just leave it out. Okay, write the email. 3 principles that override everything. So lower friction, 2 to 5 sentences, the more words. If your email shouldn't really go over 100 words. If a word can be cut without losing meaning, cut it. Polite softeners, just wanted to, hope this finds you well, I know you're busy, cost reading budget and 0 persuasion. You can cut them out. Don't have any fluff in the email. Like, every word needs to fight to get into your cold email, and that might sound like overcomplicating and overthinking it, but when you actually do that, you'll find how much more concise and easy to read the email is. And so the offer, when it's actually presented, they can quickly skim over the email and they can reply. Give them what they want. Talk about the thing they get, never about what you do. We've talked about this. We'll help you with our marketing strategies about you. 3 to 4 qualified meetings a week is about them. Prospects do not care what you do, they care what they get. And that's the reality of all of it. They're only incentivized to book a call with you because of what they get out of it. They don't care about you. They just need to be able to trust you. That's the only thing. Be specific, concrete numbers, niche specific descriptors, everything from step 2 shows up here. So this is where your market research comes in, your understanding of the niche, all this stuff. Now, this is actually a way we frame the offer pretty much in every cold email that we do for ourselves, for our clients, but like literally all the meetings that we book, it's if I could get you X without Y. So X is the specific tangible outcome in the prospect's words. Y is what they've tried that burned them. Crazy's promises, spray and pray outreach, an agency that sent mass volume and booked nothing. So those would be those would be a lot of the problems and pains that our agency owner market has faced before booking a call with us. So we actually hit on those, so they're more inclined to believe us because we know what they've been through. So they're more likely to trust us. The without is what makes the line work. Your prospect has been pitched before, and most of those pitches are overpromised. When your offer names the exact thing they're skeptical of and removes it, you stand up from every guaranteed outcome email in their inbox. When the offer line is right, you do not need a long email explaining what you do, a guarantee, or a case study attached to the first touch. Now, when it comes to the actual email structure, because I want to give you that as well, so you don't have to overthink about how to actually frame the email step by step. It really is personalized line, the offer framed like if I could get you X without Y, would you be open to a short conversation, basically. Risk reversal, results, proof, CTA. So the CTA is actually with number 5. So that's how it can be framed. So like, for example, if we could get you X meetings a month without Y, would you be open to a short conversation? Or if you have a very good Loom, if you have a very good VSL, you can do 2 different types of CTAs. You can do a video CTA or more information CTA, which sends them to a Loom, which explains your offer, answers a lot of the questions, builds more trust, and they can book a call from there. Or you can go straight for a call. We've actually found that going straight for a call without being needy, like simply saying, would you be open to a quick chat or a short conversation? If your offer is good, you will still book calls, and you don't need to use any Looms, videos, resources, free stuff. Like, don't give out free stuff to people. Don't do any of that. Free stuff, like, it's one of the biggest false beliefs, I think, in cold email. Like, we've never given out free stuff to anyone via cold email, and we sign clients, and our clients get clients from our cold email system, so you don't need to do it. It's much simpler. You also don't need to send mass volume with this approach. When you send this approach and you have a very good lead list, you like a 1% positive reply rate is very good. So you only need to send like 500 to 1,000 emails a day. You don't need to bulk mass outreach your entire generic niche with 50,000 emails a month. That's a lot of agencies like support that and get behind that. But I'd say stick to, obviously the more volume you can get is better, but the quality of the outreach is also very important. So quality and quantity are both important. Include a risk reversal when the offer carries real perceived risk. Proof gets 1 sentence maximum, the before and after numbers. So when you do the proof, you can do this in the CTA. It is optional, you don't need it. Maybe if you're an early stage agency, you don't have the proof yet. But 1 line of concrete proof that relates to the offer you've just said, and that's just going to build more trust. The offer, obviously you need that. CTA usually need that. 1 low friction ask, usually reply. Obviously not a booking link. You don't want to send any booking links or links in the first email. You just go straight to spam. Don't do that. So you want to just do a plain text email with a soft CTA. Personalized first line, this can be, look, I could probably make a separate video about this, but you don't have to overthink it. It is actually optional. So for home service niches, you can do Google reviews, a recent case study there, something on their website. For software niche, you could like mention how many like tiers they've got on their like pricing. For agencies, we've mentioned like the specific service that they do and the specific niche that they do before offering them something. Adds more trust. There's so many things you can do for personalization, but I wouldn't just do, it's better to be just honest that you're pitching them rather than trying to like compliment them like crazy. Like I vouch for like not complimenting like crazy, and even going like, this is a shameless pitch you might like, here it goes. Like that actually hits so much better than trying to like build rapport. You don't need to build rapport. Like don't worry about that. So only include the personalized first line if it's actually relevant to the offer you're about to present and it's specific enough that it is believable and adds more trust. It doesn't need to be a crazy compliment or some AI generated fluff. CTA asks for a micro, yes, worth a quick chat, mind if I send it over? Never book a 30-minute, like would you want to book a 30-minute call this week or book a call with me? Like try and like not use the trigger frames that they've probably heard a million times. Subject lines, short, personal, conversational, under 6 words. For example, don't need to overthink it. Quick question, still works. Trying to reach first name, question first name, a different kind of email first name, cold email for first name, company name. Like there's so many things you can do, but you need to not overcomplicate it. Something basic is more important than trying to come up with this crazy pattern interrupt. Then for the follow-up, this is just a basic thing. Because we do 2-step sequences, so I'd highly recommend that with cold email, not more than that, because it affects your infrastructure and makes you go to spam. The sequence is the opener plus 1 follow-up. The follow-up is not a checking in or like just bumping this. Don't ever do that. Only do that to like actual setting replies where you've handled their objections and they haven't responded yet. It is a second swing at the offer with a new angle, slightly amended offer. So you just change the framing of the offer a little bit, restate the risk reversal, different proof if you have it. And bump and re-ask. Maybe you can do a bit of a harder CTA with the follow-up. Like, are you free for a quick chat this week or next? Or will this be worth a short conversation? Again, you can probably do, or you can send them a Loom this time. If you've sent them in the opener email, you sent them just a call CTA, you can switch it up. So whatever your CTA was in the first email, you can switch up the CTA in the second email. Don't say, this is the last time I'm emailing you. Red desperation, don't do that. Some people have talked about that. I definitely won't do that. And then this is some common mistakes that kill reply rate. So we've talked about this, but talking about your service process or methodology, don't need to worry about that. And they just care about what they get. Vague filler openers. I came across your company. I hope this finds you well. Like garbage. Fluffy compliments, already said, cut that out. Stating assumptions is something that you need to be careful of. Unless you've got a really high intent signal that's accurate, you want to be careful stating assumptions, because what if that doesn't apply to them? So you want to maybe say implicit things that suggest that they might have the problem, but don't confirm that they have the problem. Teaching the prospect their own industry and over explaining their market to them is condescending and waste the read budget. Multiple CTAs, don't do that. It gives them the paradox of indecision. Don't do that. Wall of text, don't have a long email, obviously. Fake urgency, don't ever put urgency in your cold emails unless it's like some really high intent offer that's actually going to hit well with the market. Obviously, there's always exceptions to the rule, but generally, no. Don't use a corporate tone. Don't over personalize. Single numbers and headline maximum claims. Don't do crazy generic claims. They stopped working a long time ago. And obviously, don't use M dashes, or any of that crap that signals that it's AI. And then, honestly, assumptions and implications. This is what I just mentioned. The line that separates good copy from bad copy. Never tell the prospect what the situation is. Observe something real, then ask about its logical continuation, or basically your offer. So like, your traffic isn't turning into sales. You're getting around 19,000 visitors a month. Curious how much of that turns into actual orders. You don't need to assume anything. By being implicit and just suggesting, the prospect thinks about it themselves. Then pre-launch order, a few other stuff, but make sure the offer, this is if you actually had the PDF, so I'm probably not going to walk through this. But yeah, just outcome, make sure the offer is 90% of it, so make sure the offer is really good. And then, yeah, just the email. So I'm going to link this in the description as well, likely. And yeah, I'm going to make more videos about Clay, AI, Claude Code, all the stuff that we can do nowadays with outbound to help you guys book more appointments. Cheers.